My daughter uninvited me from her wedding because my ex wanted her new husband to walk her down the aisle. I agreed to stay away, but what happened next left me shocked. Hello, Reddit I+ here. My name is Martin Daniels. I'm 46 years old, a high school teacher by profession, and until recently I considered myself a proud father. I raised my daughter Ava, practically on my own after her mother Lisa, and I split up when Ava was just 9. Lisa left to find herself after a midlife crisis that involved a yoga instructor and a 6-month soul-searching retreat in Bali. I didn't fight for custody. I didn't need to. Ava didn't want to leave me, and I wasn't about to let her go. From scraped knees to school plays, college applications to heartbreaks, I was there. Every parent-teacher conference, every birthday party she had in our tiny backyard, every single time she cried over a boy, I was the one holding her hand. I gave up dating, gave up promotions that required relocation, gave up pieces of myself for her. Fast forward to this year. Ava's 28 now. She got engaged to a man named Sean, a quiet but respectful guy. I didn't know him well, but I respected her choice. Ava came over one Sunday afternoon, and we were sitting in my living room sipping coffee when she dropped the bomb. "Dad," she said, fidgeting with her sleeve, "I need to talk to you about the wedding." I smiled. "Of course, sweetheart. Need help with something?" She didn't meet my eyes. Mom wants her husband, Rick, to walk me down the aisle." I sat there, stunned. Rick. Lisa's new husband. The man who entered Ava's life when she was 22 and already independent. He wasn't there for her childhood, her struggles, her first heartbreak. He hadn't earned that moment. I'd imagined walking her down the aisle since she was a toddler in a Halloween dress. I cleared my throat. "And what do you want?" She hesitated. I want to avoid drama. Mom said it would be uncomfortable if you were there. She says Rick's been like a second dad." I stared at her. "A second dad? Ava, I'm your father." "I know," she whispered. I think it's better if you don't come. There are moments in life that change you. That was one of mine. I didn't yell, I didn't argue, I just nodded. "If that's what you want, then I won't come." She looked relieved. That cut deeper than the words. The day of the wedding came, and I stayed home. I spent it quietly, flipping through old photo albums, reliving the memories she had apparently rewritten. There was no call, no last-minute change of heart, just silence. 2 weeks later, something strange happened. A coworker of mine, who didn't even know Ava personally, stopped me in the hallway and said, "Hey Martin, I saw your daughter's wedding photos. Crazy story about what happened at the reception, huh?" I blinked. "What story?" He raised an eyebrow. "You didn't hear? The video's gone viral." That evening, curiosity got the better of me. I looked up the video. There it was. Ava and Rick, walking down the aisle together, the guests smiling. But then, during the father-daughter dance, something shifted. Lisa got drunk, not tipsy. Drunk. Slurring her words, knocking over a centerpiece, and then, on a hot mic, she was recorded telling Ava, "Now that Rick's given you your perfect day, maybe your real dad can stay in the past where he belongs." Ava laughed. The comment went unnoticed at first, but the DJ had wired her mic into the sound system, and the entire hall heard it. Gasps, an awkward silence. Someone filmed the whole thing. It was shared online by a distant cousin, captioned, "Bride laughs as mom insults real father who raised her. Disrespectful or just awkward?" It exploded. Reddit, TikTok, YouTube. Hundreds of thousands of views. Comment after comment defending me. People I'd never met saying things like, "This man deserves better," and "That girl will regret it one day." Ava called me 2 days later. Her voice was shaking. "Dad, I didn't know the mic was on. I didn't mean it to sound like that." I didn't respond right away. I let her fill the silence. I was nervous. Mom was pressuring me. She said if I invited you, she wouldn't come. I didn't want to lose her again. That hit me like a truck. I sighed. "You didn't lose her, Ava. You chose her. You chose someone who walked out over someone who stayed. That's not pressure. That's a decision." She started crying. "I messed up." "Yes," I said, my voice calm. "You did." She asked if we could meet, if we could start over, if we could fix things, but something inside me had changed. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. "I'm not angry anymore," I told her, "but I'm done begging to be seen as your father. If you ever want to have a relationship with me again, it'll be on the condition that you acknowledge who I really am, and who I've always been." She hasn't called back since. The world moves on, so did I, but I won't lie. Every time I see a father and daughter dancing at a wedding, there's a quiet ache in my chest. Not because I lost something, but because she never truly understood what she had. A few months passed. The viral clip simmered down online, but the damage was already done. Family members reached out. Some apologizing, some just stunned. My sister, who lives in Arizona, called me crying. "I had no idea, Martin. I saw Ava's posts about Rick like he was some saint, but I didn't realize she'd erased you. Neither did I. Not really. Not until the moment she asked me not to come. And honestly, I didn't realize how deep that cut went until the numbness faded. But here's the strange part. The backlash didn't just affect me, it hit Ava and Lisa hard too. Apparently, Lisa lost some major clients at her boutique interior design firm after the video. One woman wrote a scathing Yelp review. "If this is how you treat the man who raised your child, I'd hate to see how you treat your vendors. Ouch." Ava's wedding photos, the ones she'd paid thousands to have taken and edited, were flooded with nasty comments. She tried to delete them. Then she deactivated her account entirely. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. I just watched from a distance, like I had been pushed into a front row seat for a life I was no longer a part of. But then came the letter. It showed up in my mailbox one rainy Thursday. I almost threw it out with the junk mail. It wasn't from Ava. It was from Rick. Yes, Rick, the replacement dad. He wrote, "Dear Martin, I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but after everything that happened at the wedding, I felt like I needed to say something. I never intended to take your place. When Lisa asked me to walk Ava down the aisle, I assumed you had agreed to it, that you two had talked. I didn't know she had uninvited you until it was too late. I didn't raise Ava. I met her when she was already grown. What happened at the wedding was wrong. I should have stepped aside. I regret not doing so. I'm sorry, man. Truly. Rick." I read it twice. Was it guilt? Damage control? Or was it genuine? I don't know. But it was the first shred of accountability I'd seen from anyone on that side of the aisle. A week later, I got another letter, this time from Ava. Her tone was different, less defensive. She said therapy had helped her see things clearer, that she realized how deeply she had hurt me, not just by excluding me, but by letting someone else rewrite our history. She wrote, "Dad, I don't know if you'll ever forgive me. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. I've been sitting with a lot of guilt and shame, not because the internet saw what I did, but because you did. Because I made you feel disposable. I don't want to reach out just because people are mad at me. I want to reach out because I miss you. Because I remember who made my science fair volcano with baking soda. Who waited outside my college dorm in the rain just to say goodbye properly. And I remember who didn't show up. You were always there. And I was blind not to see that. I want a relationship again, but I'll understand if you're not ready. Love, Ava." I sat with that letter for a long time. Do you know how strange it feels to love someone and be hurt by them in the same heartbeat? I haven't responded yet. Some things take time. Healing does. Forgiveness does. But I'm open now. Not wide open, not naive. Just open enough to see if she truly meant it. Because maybe this time, the one walking toward me won't be a stranger pretending to be family, but my daughter, finally remembering who stood in her corner all along. They say time heals, but that's not always true. Time reveals. It reveals who clung to you, who let go too easily, and who only remembers your value when the world reminds them. I didn't get to walk her down the aisle. I didn't get the dance, the speech, the photos, but maybe, just maybe, I'll get something deeper, a second chance to be seen, not for what I lost, but for everything I gave. And this time she'll have to earn my invitation.